Welcome to the Rick Dollar Show podcast. Here's a guy who thought those voices in his head sounded familiar. Your host, Rick Dollar.
Rick Dollar here for the Rick Dollar Show and the Rick Dollar Show podcast, by the way. I am just honored tonight to have Jamie Grascal Johnson. This is not your first time with me, Jamie, but we've had a couple of little run-ins here, I guess you'd say. But
yeah.
How are you doing, sir?
Good. Doing great, Rick.
And,
still riding on a high from the release.
and as you should be,
Yeah.
no doubt about it. All right, let's do a little bit of an intro here. If you don't know who Jamie Grascal Johnson is, of course, he is with the Grascals, 21 years. You had to change my notes here because I was aware of 20 years, but
yeah.
So
We're legal.
Yeah, exactly. 3-time Grammy nominated, 2-time IBMA Entertainers of the Year. If they want to find out about you, they can go to grascals.com. Now, you have toured and or recorded with this long list of people, okay? Just bear with me.
Yeah.
Charlie Daniels, Vince Gill, Kenny Rogers, Hank Williams Jr., George Jones, the Possum, the Oak Ridge Boys, Patty Loveless, Dierks Bentley, Brooks and Dunn, Brad Paisley, Joe Nichols, Steve Wariner, the Jordanaires, Tom T. Hall, and more. First of all, I want to know how you guys, shoehorned all that into 21 years, because some people don't get that, in 50 years.
Yeah. Just, blessings. Being in the right place at the right time. The Lord's definitely blessed us big time. And, it's all about connections again. Just being good people. Surround yourself with good people, and the blessings will keep coming. And just we happen to know some, this coming Sunday we'll finally get a record with Marty Stewart. He's coming in to a song he wrote on the new album, so he's coming in to sing on it Sunday evening and put all of his guitar parts down. So we're excited about that too.
Man, that is crazy.
Yeah.
I was thinking the other day about going. I had been out to the Carter Fold. I don't know how many times when we first started doing all this stuff. And, the people that you run into, guys like Marty Stewart and people like that, they're just me and you,
Yeah.
They just they have this great talent. And,
there's guys like Marty, I heard a story. I was getting a camera replaced on my truck yesterday, and the young man in there, he's in music too. Everybody in this area is in music, and he was saying how in Waffle House one evening, Marty walked up by the cash register and he told him what a fan he was. He was only 18 at the time, and Marty was like, "Are you kidding me?" And he said, "No." So he sat down and talked to that kid for an hour.
Wow.
About guitars and stuff. And he said, "Well," and he said all of a sudden, he said, "Well, I got to get going. I'm running late." And Marty just got up and left. And yeah, that's a guy. People like him, Vince Gill, they go out.
Yeah.
They still go out and listen to music. They go pick just for fun. There's people still like that.
Man, it's crazy sometimes. I remember the first time I met Vince Gill, I was like, talking to him about sitting down with him sometime and stuff. And he looked at me and he said, "Oh, so you want me to put together some interviews for you?" Like I wanted him to get me other people. I was like, "No, I want to talk to you."
Yeah.
So
he's a great dude.
Oh man, he's cool. Hey, now you've got this new single out with Dolly Parton, "Broken Angels."
Yeah.
Available everywhere now from Billy Blue Records. And I'm sure Jerry Salley had something to do with that somewhere in this whole setup thing here. Kristen Scott Vincent, John Bryan, you, Jamie Grascal Johnson, and Danny Roberts. Is that everybody now?
Jamie Harper.
Jamie
And
Harper.
and Kyle Perkins is the newest guy on the bass.
Okay. See?
Yeah, his first recording with the Grascals was a Dolly Parton cut. How about that?
Wow.
Pretty good start.
Dude, I don't see how much better it could get for you guys.
Yeah,
The cool thing is, a long time ago, well, a few years ago, a couple years ago, you and I talked, and I'm just gonna go left to center here a little bit.
sure.
I had no idea that you were just in charge of your sobriety in so many different ways. And after I got finished talking to you, I was so happy to know Jamie Johnson and the whole benefit of, being so strong in the business, but you got it under control, Jack. And I mean, it's a hard thing to do.
Yeah. Well, under control, in check, perhaps. But
Yeah,
it's one day at a time, no doubt about that. And the only way
exactly.
to do that is lean on your higher power and the program. Man, I go to my meetings every day I can, and I don't have to go. I get to go.
Yeah.
It's all about your attitude and mindset. And I'm getting to experience things in life now that are so far above and beyond not wanting to drink. I mean,
Mhm.
that is a given that I don't want to do that, of course, but I got to just be, work on being a better person. It's things I never even looked for. But I think it's a pretty awesome place to be, and I'll take it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, just knowing the musician, the songwriter, uh, the person that's looking me in the eye right now, I know that you're telling me the truth,
Yeah.
you know, and that is not easy to find these days.
Yeah. No, you're right. It's, those are the most honest people I've ever met in my life. They're at their last. They're not even going into the church, into the main congregation area. They're going into the basement or the side door.
Hmm.
Uh, but some of the most amazing moments in them churches happen right there because I've never met more honest people just grasping for life, and it's where they lay it all out there. This is where they go to heal from, like any wound on your body. It has to heal from the inside out, and that's where it begins. Is right there. You got to open up and just be willing to listen and learn,
Hmm.
and we're in charge of the efforts. God's in charge of the results.
Yeah. I
Remember
mean,
that.
a few years ago, I had the same issues, man. I mean, when Susan and I first met, man, I was just drinking all the time, every day.
Yeah.
And I had no idea my life had slipped into something that I was like, wow, how'd I get here?
Yeah.
And, through a lot of life circumstances and things like that, um, things came, you know, all the way around.
Yeah.
And I had to make a decision. I mean, when I was on the radio, um, I mean, I can say this now because I'm sure Mr. Copenhaver's not listening, but he was a gentleman that owned the station. He would leave the station at 5:05, something like that every day. I mean, I almost knew to the second.
Yeah.
And then my midday guy, Steve, would be there. And I mean, if we heard his truck leave the parking lot, then Steve was going out the front door to the liquor store.
Oh man.
Oh, Crown Royal was my thing. And Steve would, and we were best friends. But, dude, it was like as many times during the week as we could do it.
My wife's looking for me right now. She's texting me saying, "Where are you?" I'm gonna mute you. Can I meet you and yell at them and tell them I'm here?
Yeah, go for it, man.
Okay. You hear me? I yelled loud. She couldn't hear me.
That was slick, dude. But I had to go through the same thing, and probably not to the extent that you've had to come back from what you were doing.
Yeah.
But
not everybody does, and there's no doubt. I mean, I don't judge anybody who wants to drink. I salute them. I mean, as a matter of fact, have one for me. I wish, it was different the way. Yeah, there was a time that it was a whole lot of fun, and I had a lot of fun at one time.
Oh yeah.
And where it all went off track, people can ask me that for the rest of my life, and I really won't be able to tell them the answer. It happened, and I can't explain that part except for the fact that I am super grateful that I found a way out.
Yeah, exactly. Do you think there's it's kind of I don't know. When people go to meetings, sometimes they'll come into the back door of the church or the basement or whatever. Do you think that's on purpose?
Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
Help me with that.
You
I don't
mean
understand that.
Yeah, the whole, well, without getting into too much detail,
Right.
A lot of folks are mad. They're mad at everybody, including their higher power, including God, whatever those folks call them. But they're mad at everyone. The Lord, who's due? I told you I wanted to quit. Why didn't you why didn't you just expect? Because they prayed to him the mercy prayers, it would just be gone. And that's just, again, we're in charge of the efforts.
Mm-hmm.
He's in charge of the results, but we got to give the proper effort. And a lot of people don't want to go straight into that church. They're very guilty and scared, ashamed, depressed, all those things. And that side door with those people that go in the mornings and not on the exact time of a normal day of church, where maybe nobody's looking. It's anonymous, right? They go in there, and to me, that is it's just it's an experience like no other. I would never be. I would always hope somebody would never be afraid of that. It's just the best move I ever made in my life. Some of the most amazing people I've ever met in my life are right there.
Mm-hmm.
And they're no different than anybody sitting beside you in the church up in the pews. It's just in some chairs and a little more relaxed environment, drinking some coffee, hanging out. And by the end of it, if you stick around long enough and wait for some miracles to happen, you'll be drinking coffee with us and cutting up just like we are, because guess what? Maybe life didn't get better, but we got better at life. We're handling things a whole lot better than we once were.
Man, those are words to live by, right there.
There's no infomercial here. There's nobody getting rich off this thing. It's just good people helping good people get up out of the hell.
See, the thing is, Jamie, I don't know if you're out there and you're watching this or listening to it and you've never met Jamie. Jamie's how tall are you, Jamie?
Oh, about 6 5 foot. One time I was 5'7.5", but I'd say about 5'6.5" now if I'm lucky.
Okay. You're a short man in stature.
Yes, sir.
But you are a big man in what you've done for yourself and allowed to happen for you.
Yeah.
So I just want you to know that.
Thank you very much.
I mean, that's
my biggest heroes in life. Honestly, were short people like me. Bobby Osborne.
Oh yeah.
Pacino. Sinatra. These guys were all short dudes, man. I looked up to all of them.
Did George you ever meet Frank Sinatra?
No.
I wish. My gosh. Wouldn't that
I
be
wish. Cool? Yeah. I met De Niro, man.
Did you really?
Yeah.
How did that happen?
We were on the Tonight Show together.
Wow.
We were one of the last musical guests. It was one of the last weeks he was on there. Leno was on. So yeah, I was back in 2000. I can't remember, 13, 14. It was foggy days for me.
Yeah, I got you.
They told us, they don't really want you to go up and approach him on the show. And I had been drinking, for about a week solid before that. And I told the other guys, listen, I'm pretty sure we're not going to be back out here again on this particular show because he's leaving, he's retiring. And what are they going to do? Kick us out? if anybody else wants to meet him, follow me. And we're all in the picture together. So everybody else wanted the picture as bad as I did.
I
I was
remember
just the only one with enough courage in me to go ask.
that's it, man. I remember Bobby Osborne met him at the Paramount Theater one time in Bristol, and I was like, man, he is short. I had no idea. But he got out of the car with his son. They pulled around to the back side of the Paramount Theater, and my camera guy Tony was with me that day, and I was like, wow, I don't even should I open the door for him or something? I mean, I don't, he's royalty, basically.
Yes,
So what do you do? You just be as honest and nice as you can
yes.
possibly be. But I made him mad that afternoon, but that's a whole different story for another. I've told that story a few times.
No, I've got
Anyway,
some too. Yeah.
yeah, exactly, man. All right, let's talk about this new single with
Yeah.
Dolly Parton. Now, you're no stranger to Dolly Parton.
Mm.
No,
No, we were her band when we first started. We were her band back in
exactly.
2004 and five.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, we toured on her Hello Dolly tour. It was an amazing, amazing time. I don't know, 50, 60 shows on that tour. And then the next tour we weren't her band anymore, but we got to open up about 10 shows or something like that. So we got a lot of time around her and get to see her work ethic, which is
Mm-hmm.
very, very hard and very, very um, strict and on a day in and day out. I mean, she showed up to rehearsal every day.
Mm.
She was there right on time, and you'd better be there and be ready to go. And she would literally she would redo the set list based off how she read the crowd the night before. So she paid attention to everything.
Wow.
And we would switch songs out, swap them out, and then rehearse them songs and make sure we had them right. And once she was happy and we were happy, away she went. And we'd see her when she come out and said, "Hello, I'm Dolly." So yeah, pretty good way to get started as a band. And then she let us go, and it was the thing to do at the time. If we
Mm-hmm.
were going to be the Grascals, otherwise we'd have just been her band.
Yeah.
And it was a good thing for us. That's where the Grammy nominations started coming, and which was so awesome. And we recorded with her. She loved the combination of myself and Terry Eldridge, our voices. So we were on I don't know, 4 or 5 different projects in between, not as the Grascals, just as us going in and singing with her. She had me do some different things for different demos and songs she wrote. I'd come in and sing some songs for her in her studio here and there along the way. And um, even on that, one of the bigger things she had not long ago, a train song. Terry and I are singing on that. That was a pretty cool track. And so anyway, we've stayed in touch for years. And then this idea came up. Um, it's about recovery. I mean, it's about,
Mm-hmm.
it all started with a person I'd seen her putting crayons in the kids' coloring box. The
Mm-hmm.
full ones she was putting back in the box, and the broken ones were going in the trash. And I thought, oh wow, man, it reminded me of Toy Story. The toys that didn't get played with anymore, and the crayons. And the first line of the song is "Broken crayons still color fine." And just bruised and broken heart still keeping time.
So was
And
that you that wrote that part of the
mhm.
song?
Yeah, I had a different line on the second one. I had Dolly came in. She came in with 7 verses. I can tell you that.
God.
I sent her what I had, which was about a quarter of a song in the chorus. And I just quit because it wasn't going where I wanted it to go, and it was such a special song because I wrote it about my best friend in the world who's in recovery.
Mm-hmm.
He fights it day to day still, and about myself and everybody that deals with it. It can be depression, it can be eating too much. I do all that stuff in excess. When
Right.
you're addicted to things, it's just what you do. If I'm working out, I don't stop.
Yeah.
I get skinny and people go, wow. And then I stop and then I start eating and quit working out. And they're like, you're fat. Well, yes, I am. I earned it. I worked hard. I do everything in that way. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, yeah, I started it off the broken crayon still color fine, and this old worn out heart still keeping time. And she put this bruised and broken heart. I mean, and then we just a lot of it was hers, and we just took 6 or 7 verses and meshed them into three, and decided on the best ones. And she had a big part in this, a big part. And you know, and the cool thing was is she told me if you don't say anything, it's your own fault. Because I want your ideas. I want this to be us, not just me sitting here writing for my looks. So I threw everything I had in there. She just that person. I'm friends with her and I love her, and she takes me seriously in a setting like that, and I can't appreciate that more. And to make me feel comfortable and say, well, I think we should do this, and okay, well, let's do it. And if it sucks, well, she'll tell you yep, that sucked. We're
Yeah,
not doing
exactly.
that. And I never would say it to her.
Yeah, yeah,
uh,
really.
but I said my
Yeah, that
part.
stinks, Dolly. Let's
Yeah,
do it
yeah.
again.
No, now you can do that better, girl. No, I dare I do that. But it was our song. We got done. We laughed. We cried. We had the best time that day, and I'd love to do it once a week if I could. What a dream come true. And and then we went and recorded it and released it, and here we are. Her team's behind it, of course. Billy Blue, Jerry Sally, and all the guys. Ed, the whole gang over there is amazing at Billy Blue. Our first release with them is Dolly. Um, uh, we're just in a really good place right now. It feels really, really good. Uh, the band feels really good. I feel like we sound as good as we've ever sounded. With Jamie Harper's not only a great fiddle player, but he can sing. He took Smitty's part. Terry Smith retired, and we didn't know
Hmm.
what we were going to do because we wanted Kyle Perkins to play bass, but Kyle don't sing. So we thought, oh Lord. And man, lo and behold, not only can Harp sing the harmony, he can sing lead. He's got that almost a cool Stanley Brother vibe to him with the rough edge. It almost got a deeper Terry Eldridge feel about him to me. He really does. I mean, and
Really?
that's a huge compliment. Yeah, he is unique. And that's like a Willie Nelson. It's something it's him when he starts singing. Especially when we got in the studio for this album, to hear his voice raw like that. It's like, daggum, man, he reminds me of L. I'm not saying he sounds like Terry Eldridge. I'm saying he sounds that unique.
Yeah.
Terry sings, it's Terry.
Yeah.
When Harp sings, it's Harp. And that's you turn on these radio stations anymore, and I'm not saying the bluegrass station, but you turn on a lot of stations, you can't tell who is that? Is that Morgan Wallen? No, or is that Luke? Who is that?
Yeah.
They all sound the same. No offense towards them, they're all good. They just kind of all sound the same. I mean,
Exactly.
growing up, you knew Marty Stewart, you knew Clint Black, you knew Joe Diffie, you knew Tracy Lawrence or Tracy Bird or Vince Gill or Steve Warner. You knew them, the Keith Whitley, you knew them the second they opened their mouth.
Man.
And that's a thing gone. And I think Harp's got that. That's just my 2 cents on him.
God, man. He's gonna be loving to hear this.
And he's funny too, man.
You're gonna
We
blow
get
his head
so
up. That's what you're gonna do.
us three. Well, we went back to the one mic, and with John Bryan, it allows me to sing, and I don't think I'm blowing my voice out anymore because I don't have to hit them big high notes.
Yeah.
Just about 3 or 4 songs a night, I've got to hit. He takes care of the rest of it. It's natural for him, and I think it's made me be able to be a better singer because I'm not so worried when I get up in the morning. I'm like, Lord, is it there? Because singing them high parts is a scary thing.
First
Uh,
time I ever talked to JB, you could tell he had that.
oh yeah,
You know?
good
I think it
grief.
was at the Pigeon Forge Bluegrass Festival or something.
Yeah,
I was like, God, man, I'm getting chills sitting way over here across the table for the guy, man. I mean, what's he gonna do 5 years from now?
yeah,
You know,
he's the real deal. It's
he
just a
is,
great
man.
Kristen. You can't go wrong with. Danny's one of the
Mm-mm.
founding members and amazing, and with Kyle Perkins in there now too. It's just we're almost a new band with some old pickers and meshing there with some younger ones now, and I know what Doyle felt like now.
Really?
Constantly surrounding himself with genius, young people that were amazing talents, and letting them helping them come into their own. Not like I'm a leader, like, oh, I'm not saying that by any means, but Danny and
Oh,
I is getting older, and to see these young ones come up, John Bryan with that voice, and people have been after him. He's been asked to several bands,
oh, I can imagine.
and we just hope he keeps staying, tail between the legs and sticks there with us. You don't want
Let's
to go
hope
there.
so, man.
They'll make you exercise or something. You don't want to go there, but you stay here with us.
You don't want to go to the gym twice a
Yeah.
day. No, but
No, we'll keep it as
the,
long as we can get it running. It's got a good smooth track.
well, what I'm seeing with you guys is, you know, Doyle is a good. That's a good. That's a good few words right there to stick in there, man.
Mm-hmm.
Because you just look at all these people that Doyle had to. I asked him one day that I think it was the second or third time I interviewed. No, I interviewed him at his home church the first time.
Yeah.
Cold Springs Church. And I asked him, I said, do you ever get tired of putting all these guys together and then they end up going somewhere else or doing their own thing? He said, no, because that's what I'm here to do.
Yeah.
So there's no, there's no crazy ideas about things like this.
Yeah.
These things work the way they're supposed to, especially
Yeah.
in the music business. You know this.
Yeah.
But,
Well,
Doyle
Doyle's
was
one.
always
I would
like,
never compare myself to him by any means. He was the master of that stuff. And my whole
no,
point
but
was just knowing what he felt like watching that talent.
that's right.
Oh, man, it was pretty amazing. Yeah.
How many people did Doyle put together, dude?
And half or three quarters of the bluegrass world, probably.
I'm telling you.
Of the hot bands too. I mean, of
Yeah.
the acts that everybody goes to see, they all are offspring. It's pretty cool.
It's kind of crazy, isn't it?
Then you could go back and say what Bill Monroe started and Flatt and Scruggs. They did.
Oh my God.
We're all here because of that.
Easy now.
Yeah. So
That
yeah,
is so true, though. I didn't
yeah,
think about it that way.
yeah. It's crazy. So,
Man, I talked to William Monroe the second,
mhm.
Bill's grandson.
Yeah.
And we had been talking online for, man, probably for 7 or 8 years. So we started this new podcast, My Appalachian Home.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought this dude would be perfect on that podcast to talk about Bill and how it was growing up being his grandson.
Yeah.
Kind of in the shadow of what's going on.
Yeah.
And he got a front row seat to see all this stuff happen. And, that's just like working with Doyle.
Oh yeah.
I mean, those guys from Authentic Unlimited.
Yeah.
I'll never forget the day I was just in Bristol, just off the cuff. And I saw Doyle's bus pull in where he used to keep his bus on 421. And I went over there and I thought, I'm going to go in and see Doyle for a minute. Man, dude, there was the guys from Authentic in there. There was all kinds of people in that building. And everybody was freaking out because that was Doyle's last run.
Wow. Yeah.
So, I don't want to hear you say that anytime soon because you guys got another 20 in you easy.
Oh yeah, we'll see what happens. I'll just keep having fun.
Well, I think that's it's the key to it, and you got a great banjo player. I mean,
Yeah.
I remember the first time I saw Kristen at Bristol Spring. Yeah, Bristol Spring Fest. Man, I was just shocked at how good she was.
Yeah.
I had no idea. And now that I've been around her a little while, it's just nothing surprises me what she does.
Yeah.
What you guys are doing.
Several of them can play a lot of instruments.
Yeah. But you guys got, not just the people that you've worked with, but all of these people that have been around you that have, kind of been like a sponge and they've soaked up all this good stuff over the years. So, you can't blame it all on Doyle. You guys are responsible for a whole lot of good music out there.
Well, we've churned out as many as we can, and we've made quite a few records. And to look back now, say it was 21 years ago this thing started. Time does fly. It
Yeah.
sure does. And I was off 8 years, so
Yeah.
uh, what is that 21 minus 8? I mean, I've got 13 years under my belt or so. So I mean, it's not. It feels like 21 though.
Yeah, I could imagine, dude.
But when I
I
walked
could
away,
imagine.
I can't. Yeah, Danny's been going since day one. He must have the ever ready battery in him or something.
Gosh, I'm telling you. I mean,
Yeah.
I interviewed
And
Jay
Kristen's
Lee.
been here longer than me.
I
She's
interviewed Jay Lee
17
not
years.
long ago, and she was like all about Danny. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, but Jay Lee, you're pretty good musician too.
She sure is. She sure is.
But I tell you what, this business is so strange sometimes. It's odd the people that you meet, and then when you meet them, they're nothing like you thought they were.
Mm-hmm.
Human beings,
Oh yeah.
and that's all we are.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Absolutely.
yeah,
That's the way it should be.
exactly. So, you got anything else? Now, you said that you were going to be. Can I say this about Marty? Don't you have Marty Stewart coming to do a little guitar work or something? Or
Yeah, he's doing guitar work and singing on
that's good.
this Sunday. Yeah, yeah, Marty will be on there, and can't wait for that to happen.
Yeah.
On a song he wrote with his wife, Connie Smith.
Wow.
It's called the Farmer's Blues, and I think some other folks have recorded it, and some of the guys mentioned that, but I don't care. I love the song. It's one of my favorite songs. I love the song. It's just great country music and great music. Period. Just great lyrics, and to have Marty come in is going to be an honor. He's going to sing the baritone all the way through it, and then also play a cool break. And then I wrote a gospel song on here with about our moms with Vince Gill. That we cut that song. It turned out great. I can't wait for Vince to hear it. And we decided to,
He'll cry.
he would have said yes in a flash if I asked him to come in. He kind of said, "Man, I would rather have hear the Grascals do it, do your spin on it." And he's done it on the Opry already. He's done it several times. So
Wow.
hopefully he's going to record it. He plans on it. So he's like, "Man, you guys do your spin on it." And he's been on our albums already, and he's like he kind of said he's little waterlogged. A lot of people get him on there because he always says yes, and he would have said yes to this. And but I respected his wish on that, and we're just going to cut it the best we can and hope that he loves it, and our moms love it, and his mom's going to turn 100, I think, next month, and my
What?
mom's 80. Yeah, yeah,
I had no idea.
yeah. She still lives at home. I mean, she has assistants and stuff there, but she still lives in the home he was raised in.
Wow.
How
I
cool is
had
that?
no idea, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we
What
got we
genius.
got to see him here in Savannah not long ago.
Hmm.
And it was really weird because, and I'll show you this picture sometime. I had to sneak over to the bus to get a picture with him. And
Hmm.
I'm looking up like this, and he's looking like this, and we're both look like two old men trying to take a selfie. And my wife made fun of me for that. I was like, it's Vince Gill. What are you going to
Yeah. Hey,
do?
he is the absolute what a gentleman
Oh, yeah.
and a good human being for showing others how it's supposed to be done. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not talking about, we already know what a genius he is, but I'm
Oh,
talking about giving to others. He didn't have to say yes to me when I asked him to write,
mm-hmm.
and he did. And then he brought me over to his house and treated me like a friend he's known his whole life. And we had the biggest time.
Mm-hmm.
And we hugged when we left. And he don't text. He's not a texter. He talks by phone.
What about the guitar collection? Did you
I got to see it all. It was
oh my
pretty.
gosh.
Me not being a great player and stuff, it still was, the vintage electric guitars, the Gibsons, the Martins, the mandolins. Oh my gosh, it just
Dude,
went
he's
on
got
and
them.
on. It's good for him,
Mm-hmm.
and he plays them. He'll get them out. He knows everything about all of them. Yeah, what a classic, true musician through and through, born and bred.
Yeah,
And
no
then
doubt.
on top of that, to be a gentleman, and spread that knowledge and wealth and gift to others without question. You don't. They just don't make them like that anymore.
No, sir, they don't.
I hope some young artist who becomes super famous hears this, and they remember what the good guys did.
I hope so.
Yeah,
I really do.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I'm no youngster anymore myself. I looked the other day and I'm like, man, I'm 56. What is going on? Where's all this gone? You know,
it's flying.
Dude, let me tell you. Listen, young man, tell everybody we love them, and we appreciate you taking time to talk about this song.
We love you, Rick. Thank you so much for your support.
Anytime.
Yeah.
We're always here for you.
Yes, sir, buddy.
All right. Rick Dollar here for the Rick Dollar Show and the Rick Dollar Show podcast. And I've been talking to Mr. Jamie Grascal Johnson. Everybody have a good evening.
See ya.
This has been the Rick Dollar Show podcast. The Rick Dollar Show podcast is produced by Radio Dog Productions. Theme music is written and performed by Jeremy Garrett at garrettgrass.com. The Rick Dollar Show podcast cannot be reproduced or rebroadcast without express written consent from Radio Dog Productions. I'm Kent Jones, and this has been a Radio Dog production.